Check, check, mic check, 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 check. Alright, I'm just making sure that my microphone works good because last time I tried to do like a live cam play of me doing the Avengers during its beta, my entire mic just decided to, just go staticky through the whole thing. So, gonna be dealing with that. Just wanted to make sure that everything was fine. But I want to go ahead and get the formalities out of the way. Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here. I told you I was going to start streaming this. And I want to be able to play this and give my thoughts on the various aspects of this game. Because I do have quite a bit to say about it. And there are some things that really bother me about this game. So I kind of just want to play through this a little bit and see where we stand on it. I've kind of been playing this a lot. Like, I finished the campaign many days ago, and I've just been playing this Avengers Initiative, but there's certain things that I haven't played because I kind of want to get it on camera, such as I've been keeping myself from doing the shield protocols because I want to get through that so we can get through the Reigning Supreme initiative, and that's just step one. We just need to do these shield protocols here. So that's what I'm going to be tracking. I still got the iconic mission chains for everyone except for Hulk. I've done that for Hulk, so I've already went through his entire thing. I need to level up everyone else and do all their different trees. There's a Desert Vault for the Avengers Initiative. I need to take care of that. Plus the training modules for Captain. For Cap. I need to knock that out while I got the chance. So let's just see about playing through this. I got nothing to do today. Well, this evening. It's like 6:05 right now, but I got nothing to do this evening, so I just want to spend a little time and play this on camera for you guys, if you guys don't mind. So, obviously, like I told you guys, Hulk is my most leveled up individual. My most leveled up character in this game. He was the first person I maxed out, and the first person I got all these skills and everything, and I got his skills in a way where it'll actually be extremely helpful for me to get through this quickly. So here's the thing. I kind of want to be honest with this. Let me just go ahead and just talk about my experience playing this game as a whole. I enjoyed playing through the campaign. Now, when I say I enjoyed playing through the campaign, I really enjoyed the characters and the overall story. The game looks great. It still suffers from frame rate issues, of which I hope and pray it is remedied when we are able to upgrade this from the PS4 to the PS5. But there are certain things, well, a lot of things about this game that do not make sense to me and kind of seem a little bit contradictory to what was promoted to the game. And I kind of want to be honest about that. So, first off, let's go ahead and do this mission and get it started. I really should be leveling up other characters so they can actually last longer when they're fighting with me, because most of my AI characters, they have not even reached level 10 yet. So I've just been surviving all of these missions with Hulk as my most strongest individual, while everyone else still needs a little bit more work done. Now, I actually want to show you guys something. I'm going to put this on the easiest difficulty. Challenge 1. Now, this is supposed to decrease in difficulty by further reducing enemy power level. Now, see that? And it makes it power level 116. Now, like Iron Man is 6, Black Widow's 4, Captain America's 4, Thor is 3, and Kamala is 9. No one is at like level 10 or anything like that. And while I'm in here, let's wait for this to boot up. And since I'm right here, I want to show you guys something. Gameplay. See? Campaign difficulty. I switched it to easy. I finished the campaign on normal. I finished it on normal. But I switched it to easy just to see if it'll actually affect the game. It, in fact, does not. It's saying that it's on easy is like saying that you getting shot in the shoulder with a bullet is the same as getting shot in the shoulder with a slightly smaller bullet. They both still hit the same. So that's just how I feel about the difficulty. It says that Challenge 1 was supposed to reduce enemy strength and power level. Yet here, it just shows it as 0. So nothing's been reduced at all. It's just the same level as you. You're not stronger than the enemies, as it makes you believe.
They'll have access to all of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s assets. Locations, agents, everything.
But you'll see what I mean by difficulty, because I actually kind of commented on something that Jay Shockblast was saying on Twitter about how enemy scaling is absolute garbage for this game. For when it comes to difficulty, it's as if every enemy is twice as strong as you, regardless of the difficulty you set it on.
Inbound. So here's the plan. S.H.I.E.L.D. is launching a full-scale assault of Taskmaster's compound. We lost a lot at the vault, but we should be able to hold them off. Meanwhile, you'll infiltrate the main building and take back Fury's data. We just have to hope AIM hasn't had enough time to decrypt it yet. Okay, there's an AIM checkpoint just ahead of your position. Clear it out completely before moving on to the main facility. I'll meet you there.
Acquiring rendezvous location.
Avengers engaged!
Alright, this is the easiest difficulty. Now pay attention to how I fight and how I'm getting shot. See? You see how much health I just lost? Now, of course, it's easy to say, oh, you just need to put some stats into Resolve in order to increase your defense. But that's not the case here. I mean, you can make that argument all day, but at the end of the day, this game says to embrace your powers, but how can we embrace our powers if the game just throws every single enemy at you, caution to the wind, and enemies all of a sudden, they're able to just take you out with absolutely no problem whatsoever. Regardless of the difficulty that you set it on. I'll talk more once we get to a quiet moment.
Wanna see all my weapons? Okay!
Connor, man, what's going on? I don't think I've ever seen you at my channel before. I just want to say hi. I'm going to be talking about the Avengers game here and my review of it as a whole. Because there's some things that this game does right, and there's some things that it does very, very wrong. And there's some things about this game that just really don't make no sense to me for this to be like our call for an Avengers next-gen game. For a Marvel next-gen game. No less. Now mind you, everything I say here is purely based on my experience and my opinion. So if you are okay with some of the things that I say about characters or don't like what I say about characters, hey, to each their own.
Building. I always loved attention.
What are the chances Taskmaster has already decrypted the data?
Knowing Fury's slim. If he has, though, well, it'll be time for more drastic measures. We can't let AIM get a hold of Fury's intel. That much is certain.
There is an elite AIM unit near you. Defeat them, and you may gain something useful.
Like, this is the easiest difficulty. And yet it's very easy for enemies to just take chunks of your health out at a time. And like I said, sure, it can be argued that, oh, I don't have gear. What was that? How much damage was that? That was 1,000,000 and something damage. I'm not crazy, I just saw that. But it can be argued that, oh, I don't have gear dedicated to defense on my person, so that's why I'm taking so much damage. That should not matter. The fact that enemies are able to just hit you with so much force that it can literally take so much of your health out in one hit. Not only that, but the game's algorithm and mentality is, oh, if there's one person that's attacking, then let's have them all attack him at once. There's a moment in my playthrough of the campaign where I get hit by all sides, and my health disappears within seconds. And I'm playing as the Hulk, literally one of the toughest individuals in the entire Marvel Universe, and yet I just get owned in seconds. That just baffled me so much. Alright, we still got some places to go to.
Look for a chest with gear nearby. A shield ally is in trouble nearby and needs your help. There is a chest with gear close by.
Alright, cool. I managed to get it open. That's good. Alright, they're taken care of. Directed. Alright, time to rescue this person in here.
That did it. Theo, work your magic. You're safe now.
I'm just busting stuff
The alarm
up.
has been raised now. Multiple reinforcements incoming.
Thanks, Jarvis.
And of course, I need to be a smart person in order to open up this door. And you can't get your AI to do that because of reasons.
Please hurry.
Jarvis, don't rush me, boy. Got some purple ISO, but it's only 2 stars, so it's probably not going to do me much good. Oh, there's a chest over here. Give me that chest!
Head for the location I sent you.
There we go. See? It's ridiculous how much health I can lose just by one enemy.
They were no match for us.
Tall building, check. What did I tell you?
You always did like to hear yourself talk.
Taskmaster. Always butting into conversations you weren't invited to.
Is that supposed to wound me?
Nah, just stalling while we take out your goons.
Let go of them shields. You won't need them.
One down.
Need more of a challenge, Maria?
That's Commander Hill to you. What happened to you, Taskmaster? Too scared to fight me yourself?
I've risen,
Like, look at this.
Commander. You aren't worth my time.
Get inside. Everyone in. The main data center is on one of the lower floors. Jarvis, status report.
Right away.
Like, I'm just playing through this game right now, but there's just so many aspects of this game overall.
Started the decryption process.
Let's work fast then. Okay, the process is run through a series of turbines. I'm sure Fury would come up with a more elegant solution, but we're out of time. We're just gonna smash everything.
Like, there's multiple aspects of this game that don't make sense to me, like...
They know why we're here, so I expect heavy guard. Ignore them if you can, just destroy the turbines before they complete the decryption.
Running a scan on the data center.
Got it.
Okay. Take a breather, kids.
So, let me be specific about the things that I don't like about this game. And there are many things before I get engrossed in playing this game. Before I get engrossed in this mission. So, my big thing about Hulk is that he staggers way too easily. Now, my thing is... the game gives you access to gear that can, you know, remedy this whole stagger business, but it's through comics. Like, you gotta go and do the harm missions in order to get a whole bunch of comics, then priority harm missions in order to farm set specific comics that can boost these chances, like, where is it? Status resistance, stun, meter damage, I think one of these gives you like stagger resistance or additional armor that makes it so you don't take as much damage. But the only way that you can actually get these perks to level up is if you constantly find these comic books. Now, here's my thing. I got no issue with collectibles being tied to, you know, stat progression. But when the base character without these comic books can barely take a hit and is staggered by every enemy type, it don't matter if he has rage, I don't care about that. The fact that the Hulk, one of the toughest, strongest beings in all of Marvel, and they made it so they... How is it that they said that they took inspiration from Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, yet I see no resemblance or any cues that they use Ultimate Destruction as a reference? That's the thing that confuses me. Like, they said that, oh, one of the directors who was in charge of Hulk says that, oh, we use Ultimate Destruction as a template, or we took some inspiration from it, but we decided to do what we decided to do for Hulk was, like, what if we wanted to take a strategic approach to Hulk? Like, first of all, wrong. Hey, what's going on, Fork? What's going on? I'm just talking about my overall experience of Avengers right now and why I think that they kind of fumbled on it a little bit. But they said that they took inspiration from Hulk Ultimate Destruction, yet there doesn't seem to be too much of a resemblance in Hulk's gameplay here versus his gameplay in a game from 16 years ago. Because the Hulk in Ultimate Destruction was far capable.
Accelerator turbines in total. It won't be long before they have access to Fury's data.
The Hulk in Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction was far more capable than this Hulk. Like, his jumps were not ridiculous. He could survive more than just getting staggered. Anything that was smaller than he was, he never had to worry about getting staggered by, you know,
Decryption appears to be slowing down.
people like dudes his size or people roughly his size staggering him when they hit him. Like, I never understood why that's a thing here in this game. Hulk actually felt powerful. Like, his special moves were able to level entire blocks. He could clap his hands and it would send out a giant shockwave, would destroy cars, would destroy buildings, would literally just blow back enemies. He had a whole bunch of different combo moves that made it so that he could just survive anything. He had a bunch of skills that made it so that survivability, he could weaponize all sorts of things and could increase his functionality out in combat, could weaponize stuff, could survive. There was multiple things about Hulk and Ultimate Destruction that just resonated well and made him feel like the true Hulk that we all know and love. Now, I don't know what kind of angle they were going for with this version of Hulk, but he's not as powerful as he should be. And I think it's because they made this game like Destiny, where your strength is based on the gear you have. And the higher level the gear, the more powerful you are. But at the same time, Destiny, to me, it feels like it scales you better in terms of your strength. It feels like it scales you better in terms of your strength. Like, I could play Destiny right now. I got a good amount of gear that's strong, and I can run into any zone, and I can run into any zone, and if I want to just shoot people, then I can just headshot people, and it's fine. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by comments. Hold on. All right. So, Incredible Hulk back then, he was powerful. You had so many moves that just added to combat. You could take cars and turn them into boxing gloves. And then later on, you can get skills that turn those boxing gloves into projectiles you could throw. And increased your damage. And then you just had the basic skills for Hulk that made it so that he could get stronger and stronger and stronger, could perform more super moves, had multiple ways of getting around, like from sprinting to jumping. Like the jumping of Hulk in Ultimate Destruction from 2004 is better than this jumping that we get from Hulk here. I don't know why they thought that giving Hulk just this tiny little baby hop jump was a good idea. Now, people can say like, oh, he just does like little mini hops like that in the comics. If you're not the length that he does here, because in that he can actually clears a larger distance. And the thing that also bothers me a little bit about Hulk is the fact that out of everyone except for Cap, Hulk also does not get like a movement upgrade. Kamala Khan, she gets an upgrade that lets her swing further and farther when she's using a grapple point. Black Widow gets that as well. Thor gets an upgrade where he can use his Odin Force, in this game mind you, use the Odin Force to boost his flying speed at the cost of his intrinsic Odin Force meter. And Iron Man can do the exact same thing for his bar. It's called Afterburner, and he can just shoot forward at high speeds. Cap doesn't get an upgrade, that I can understand. But with an individual like Hulk, who has been known to clear 3 miles in a single bound while calm, I don't see why they didn't give us an option to upgrade his jumping. Because there are multiple places in these stages that have like high rises and walls that you can cling to, but you can't jump to them as Hulk at all with his current height. So I don't understand why some places have like high rises and walls and swinging poles that you can swing from with Hulk, but they're at a height that he can't actually physically jump to. And Cap can't get to it either. I actually think Cap can actually get to some of these better than Hulk, because Cap has a double jump. And he has a wall run. So you can double jump and wall run into one another. So they actually complement one another. But Hulk, it's called bounding leap for him. But, and I keep hearing people say like, oh, you need to press it just as you jump in order to jump farther. No, you reach your maximum height and maximum speed of jumps after 3 to 4 jumps. 3 at the max. And that's it. You don't get any farther. You don't get any faster. You just stay at that same exact speed after the 3rd jump in the chain. And it doesn't get farther. Using rage does not increase the distance. Pressing sprint gives you a little bit of a boost off the first jump, but it still keeps this jumping speed the same throughout the entire process. So that's something that kind of irks me about Hulk. Like, hold on. I gotta find this article where it said, Avengers Ultimate Destruction. Where is it? Because there's an article on Hulk's gameplay. This feels like a podcast.
Usually this quiet.
No, but I'm sure he's listening.
Well, it's really supposed to be a gameplay video, but I'm sorry if I'm getting on a little bit of a soapbox here, but I gotta give my honest opinion about this game that they say that they want to keep going for years at a time. If they want to do that, they gotta make sure that they actually acknowledge the strength of the characters they say they want us to embrace. The tagline for this game is "Embrace your powers." Hold on, the game sound is in my ears. And I kind of feel like I'm yelling. Louder than I should be. Hold on, let me fix this. Output, only chat audio. Okay. Right, I forgot my sound system was on. I know that article is around here someplace. Like, see? Using rage is supposed to keep me armored. It's supposed to make me armored. And yet getting hit while I'm using rage doesn't offer any sort of stagger resistance to the degree that it should. At least to the degree that I feel that it should.
Last one down. Jarvis, what's our status?
I'm afraid I have bad news.
Damn it! I got it.
The data was sent to an office downstairs.
Taskmaster. Get that elevator open. We're going down. Hurry!
I'm gonna stick to this stream, but I might not comment because I'm listening to it while doing something else. Hey, dude, it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. Now, where's that elevator? Oh, it's up here. And I'm horrible at jumping. Like, I could give suggestions to them about what can make the game better, but they only seem to listen to people that have, like, you know, big followings and stuff like that.
Shield needs that data to rebuild.
Sure, they'll like a comment if it acknowledges how much people praise them, because, you know, they do that.
The Taskmaster has begun uploading the data to AIM's
But when it comes to
servers.
criticisms and people saying that there's something wrong with the game, there's something wrong they shouldn't be doing, they don't really pay too much attention to it. Like, recently, they made it so that loot, they kind of nerfed loot a little bit for some odd reason. Then they said, like, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen.
This isn't giving up. It's winning.
Is it?
Shield gave up on me. Remember?
But I still feel like in a game where it's loot based, you should not be doing anything that could cause loot to be, you know, secondary or... Oh, we got a legendary. Okay, let's see what we got here. See, this gear ties into your overall power level. And I feel like this... I got my own personal opinions about this type of gear setup and how they do it, but I'll save that conversation for later, for a little later on. Because this just feels, this is basically Destiny's setup. Get gear pieces that increases your power level, that in turn makes you stronger as you level up. This is basically what that is. But I feel like they may have dropped the ball on putting... I feel like they may have dropped the ball on making it so that the only way that your characters can be strong is with specific gear pieces. Now, I know gear pieces can give you, like, certain bonuses and stuff like that, but I would have liked a little bit more of a fleshed out tree. Like, more skills down here that could... Oh, I don't know. Maybe you could reach a prestige level and you can use it to increase melee damage. Or reach a prestige level and you can use it to increase your defense. Or increase your health. Or increase how fast you regenerate health. Or increase your stagger resistance or status resistance. Things like that that can, you know, increase the longevity of the game and make it so that people can say, oh, there's a reason for me to keep playing this character past its max level. If I prestige them, then I can get access to these brand new stats that can give me more stuff, that can make me stronger overall, and then I can actually feel like the Hulk, and not Hulk from Endgame. But I digress. I feel like I'm starting to rant again, so apologies for that. Plus I got all this extra junk that I don't need. And the max power level is 150. And from what I hear, it is a pain to get to. Because you got all these higher... And here's another thing about the game. Let me get off of Hulk, because I've just mainly been playing so much of him that I haven't spent too much time with everyone else. But everyone else feels like they have a better time dealing with enemies than Hulk. Like, Hulk, he'll always get stunned, he's always getting countered. And even big enemies that should not be hitting him and should not be injuring him, he just gets messed up so easily. And it just makes no sense to me. Whereas Iron Man and Thor, they all got skills and stuff that makes it so that they can actually survive nice and long. Ain't got to worry about getting jumped or nothing like that. And Taskmaster's on the other side, but his health bar is showing up for some odd reason. But I digress. I'm getting on another soapbox again. Alright, the door is open. Let's go ahead and see if they can give us something good. Now, the thing is, I'm trying to get a bunch of comic books to see if the stat increases, the stat bonuses you get from the comics you find can get me, like, here's another comic. Now, the thing is, it won't tell you if you collect if you collect a copy, you have to actually go in there and look and see if you have another one, or look at your stats on the side. Like, you have heroic charge rate, willpower, recovery effectiveness, max willpower, perk chance, stun status, meter damage, critical hit chance, and status resistance. You got a whole bunch of these small minor stats that increase when you find a comic book. And if you find multiples of the same thing, then the perk that is linked to that comic book increases. And I'm kind of wondering what it would look like if you find the max number of comic books for a certain stat and you max that stat. Can that in the long run greatly affect you? Because as of right now, if like the first tier of a comic book gives you like 0.5, and I would like to believe that finding like maximum versions of them, I feel like maximum versions of them should give us like much bigger stat increases in the double digits. I feel this game is still in beta or alpha, so I think they might buff Hulk. Hopefully, I hope so as well, because this is a game. This is the most recent Marvel game that we have in our hands right now. We still have we still have Spider-Man Miles Morales coming out this holiday season. But that's only just one character, so they can dedicate all the time they need to perfect that character and make us feel like that character. Here, there's a lot of... there's more emphasis on multiplayer than there is on single player. Because single player, you can easily get through it like 10 hours, 10, 12 hours, easily. You could just get through it, and that's the end of the campaign. You can't go back and do those missions. The campaign is over as soon as you're done, and it immediately puts you in the Avengers initiative, which is pretty much they can say it's single player, but it's mainly multiplayer focus. So all their effort just went into making sure that, hey, we got to make sure this multiplayer thing is fine. And I feel in doing so and dedicating so much time to making it a multiplayer focused game that they actually kind of hamper a lot of characters that should be powerful.
Not for long. Take him down.
You can try.
And you see, okay, so another thing that bothers me about Hulk and why I feel like they made him really weak is he has a skill called Cataclysm. Let me come over here real quick and then we'll get back to the action. It's called Cataclysm. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is Cataclysm? Where is it? There it is. When rage is full, attacking builds up extra energy to overcharge it. While overcharged rage is automatically active and damage from all sources is increased by 20%. That sounds nice. Here's the drawback. The massive drawback of why I can barely stay in Cataclysm for a long period of time. And yet they give you a skill that says like, hey, you do more damage while it's overcharged. But the drawback is, in order to stay overcharged, keep attacking enemies or perfectly parrying enemy attacks. Getting hit or not attacking enemies for a short duration will cause overcharge to end. Here's where they messed up this skill. This is a game where all enemies are hitting you at all times. If you're not dealing with melee enemies who are up close and trying to hit you, and you're trying to dodge and weave and parry perfectly every single time, which is a lot more micromanaging that one should be doing, you got enemies in the distance where you could easily get distracted by one split second, and a sniper from the other end of the map can hit you in the back overcharge, gone. All that massive amounts of damage that you were doing with the overcharge, it's gone because you got hit from a distance. Now, I honestly feel like they dropped the ball on it because there's so many skills that are like Black Widow has a skill that makes it so she does more damage when her bar fills up. But she does, in order for that to work, she cannot get hit at any point during an entire fight, and she has to fill up that bar. There are multiple ways for enemies to hit you even while you're dodging. You can literally dodge into an attack, get hit, and that'll wipe out your entire bar. The entire bar. And the thing is, building up the bar takes a little bit of time. It takes more time to build it up than the overcharge actually lasts. And I feel like skills that are linked to never getting hit in a game where you're always getting hit, that's not good game design. Here's the thing, I don't hate the game. I really want this game to succeed where other games that have done live service looter games have failed. But they need to improve on where these games have failed and make it so that they don't repeat those same mistakes. They're kind of repeating it here. Like, we need to nerf these characters we know are powerful in order for us to balance them in the game. You can have ridiculously powerful characters in a multiplayer game. Like, Marvel Heroes Omega is a very, very, very clear example of how to do ridiculously powerful enemies that are offset by the characters you can make ridiculously powerful as well. That is the perfect symbiosis of game design and making powerful characters. And I kind of don't understand why they went this route of, okay, so we kind of want to ground these characters in realism just to a little bit. So we can't make them be too powerful. We can't have Immortal Hulk. We can't have Worldbreaker Hulk. We can't have a Hulk that is capable of wiping the floor with everyone, even though he should. So we just gotta nerf people. We gotta nerf Hulk. Because if you just left Hulk to his own devices, he'll just be all powerful, and then we can't have that because then people won't play the game as long because they'll mop up the floor with everyone just using Hulk. We can't have Captain America be good at, like, here's the thing, I'm only saying Hulk because I spent the most time with him. Captain America, from what I've seen, Captain America, Thor, Black Widow, Kamala Khan, they all can all hold their own. They got a lot of skills that complement their abilities. But with Hulk, there are far too many skills dedicated to grabbing enemies. You know, the same enemies that want to, you know, avoid touching you at all times. And the game's bugged out because Taskmaster is just floating. See? I'm overcharged right now. And we end up shrinking Taskmaster now. So he's short. See? Taskmaster is not strong enough to stagger the Hulk. Nor is Taskmaster this tall compared to the Hulk. Why is Taskmaster so much bigger than everyone? He's not a large individual. And you see how much health I just lost? Mind you, I started this stage with the easiest difficulty. And Taskmaster had absolutely no problem taking nearly almost all of my health out. Like, look at this. Look at that. Just took me down. And another thing that bothers me is that if you're playing single player and you get downed 2 times, if you get downed a 3rd time, that is an automatic game over, and you reload at the checkpoint. Whereas in multiplayer, you guys can keep rezzing as long as people are there. Like, see? You see this? I gotta find some health. How did he hit me from all the way over there? How is the Hulk getting staggered by grenades? Grenades are the last thing that he can ever be staggered by. And it's taken me so long just to get this overcharge bar up. Thankfully. If I don't use rage to get this damage increase, then I won't get it. And the thing is, you give us the skill called Cataclysm that makes it so that we can, you know, do additional damage. But the most damage we can do is when we're using rage, and rage will drain our bar. Hey, Kishan, what's going on? You shouldn't be watching this. What you talking about? Oh, you want to play the game, but you haven't seen spoilers? Don't worry, this is not a story mission. Hey, I got a legendary. But this is an Avengers initiative mission, so watch at your own peril.
Luckily, I can improvise.
No!
You backed the wrong side, Masters. Hope the paycheck was worth it. Send a message to AIM. With love from S.H.I.E.L.D.
So this game can be really cheap. Had I gone down a second time, it would have wiped, it would have said like, oh, I failed, and we would have restarted at the beginning of the Taskmaster fight. So bosses can be real cheap, and this is just the difficulty. This is just the first difficulty. This is challenge 1. There's still challenge 4 for the game.
Commander.
We built a strong foundation.
So know that
we
I
keep
most
going.
likely would have failed if
We
I
make
went up
new
a difficulty.
plans. We rebuild. S.H.I.E.L.D. is back, and we're not going anywhere.
Well, that's good to know. Thanks for the info there, Hill. But let's also see this new legendary piece that we got in our gear. There's plenty of things that I would add that would make this game better, but it may fall on deaf ears because they say they're listening to feedback, but not every feedback is something that, not every piece of feedback is on their agenda. Even though, for some of us who see this as a, this guy has 3 stats. Wait a minute. Okay, game, you kind of want to bless me a little bit in front of everybody. I'm there dogging this game out for all this stuff, and then you gonna give me some nice gear? Don't do that. I'm still gonna say what I'm saying. But I got 3 stats on this one. This is the first time I've seen that. Defeat 3 enemies in rapid succession to grant a heroic charge burst. Now, I'm going to upgrade this as much as I can. Hopefully I can get it to 1 more. Yeah, there we go. Gear is now 130. I'm trying to get some gear pieces all to be even, because the higher your skill level, the higher enemies you can take on, and thus the higher pieces of gear you can actually get from missions. But this will actually help me out in the long run, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. But there's still some things that they need to improve. I'm not playing story, so it's alright, I think. Well, Avengers Initiative, the multiplayer thing, it still has its own kind of story mode, but if you don't want to be spoiled on it, if you intend to get the game, then by all means, hold off on it. And we got all these pieces, getting rid of you. I need to focus on health and defense. So things that can increase, not health and defense, but attack and defense, because Hulk is really, really squishy. Never thought I would actually say that in a sentence, but Hulk is really squishy. I have him maxed out, and I still feel like I won't be able to survive more than 3 rockets hitting me all at once. And that's a problem. So I'll keep that. Get rid of you. Alright, we should be good now. Let's get back to the main story. Well, not main story, but to the story more... to the helicarrier and see what new assignments we need to do. Alright, so it looks like we got another one. In Honor's name, AIM keeps a list of potential security risks among their employees. Commander Hill wants access to the list to identify possible defectors to join the Resistance and asks the Avengers to help. So, like I said, I'm going to keep this on Challenge 1 because this does not... Like, I really don't care about playing on higher difficulties because any higher and everything will just... You know what? Let's see what happens if I try to play on Challenge 4. I actually want to be curious and see what happens. Because enemies have a plus 17 boost in mission power. You never feel like you can just easily go into a mission and wipe the floor with everyone. You never feel that way. At least me personally. I know there's people out there who have multiple builds for Hulk and multiple builds for everyone else where they can just easily go in and murk everything. But I still feel like not everyone has reached that level, and therefore enemy scaling per difficulty feels like it was not finished. Because I played through Iron Man's tutorial mission, and I could barely get past that because the enemies were just so aggressive, and they thought, and here's the thing, a tutorial stage should be getting you used to a character. Shouldn't be difficult, should just let you know that, hey, you have access to these skills, try it on these people. No, the tutorial mission is literally like a 10-wave horde mode, no, a 3-wave horde mode, where enemies are hitting you from all sides. And mind you, tutorial stages are usually done when a character is at a very low level. You could do this at a low level, and though it was possible for me to get past it, it took me multiple tries just to get through a tutorial mission with Iron Man, and that was just with the difficulty unchanged. That was with the difficulty actually set to the first difficulty, Challenge 1. So, I feel like there's some things that they need to work out a little bit, work out some kinks here and there in order for this game to feel like, hey, this feels like a game where I'm playing the Avengers. Oh, I feel as strong as Iron Man. I feel as powerful as Hulk. I feel as awesome as Captain America. It doesn't feel that way to me. Not yet. Now, like I said near the beginning of my stream, I enjoyed the story and I enjoyed the characters. But the gameplay and the mechanics and its, you know, endgame content and loops, gameplay loops, needs work. Lots of work. Especially if you're going to be releasing more characters and content in the future, and even saying that you want this game to keep going for years at a time. You need to make sure that this is the definitive Marvel game that people come back to. You don't want this game to just like, you don't want to constantly nerf things and make it so that, oh, I don't feel like playing Hulk because he's not strong enough, when he's literally the strongest one there is. But that's just my take on it.
Despite the forest fires, there are AIM forces in the area. Of course there are. AIM doesn't care about their security forces. You care about your agents.
Warriors are not interchangeable.
Let me go ahead and get these. I got some chocolate chip cookies off to the side here. I'll be eating them as I'm playing.
That is a lot of fire. AIM was thorough. Take these guys out. You got it.
Omegas, what is going on? It's good to see you. I'm not even really paying attention to the fight right now. All these enemies are level 154. And I survived. I'm actually surprised about that. Enemies are taking longer to beat. Probably won't be. See, it's very easy for you to get hit from all sides. Like, what is he doing all the way out there? And how is he sniping me from all the way out there? See? You see what I mean? Enemies can literally hit you from any distance. And sometimes the indicator won't even show up to let you know they hitting you from that distance. We need whole Ultimate Destruction to come back. Megas, you ain't lying. That is one game that I would literally give half of the games I have in my library for a full-on remaster, because that game was literal Hulk perfection. For this, like I said earlier, you weren't here for that, but this game was touted to be like Hulk's gameplay was supposed to be an inspiration and take some inspiration from Ultimate Destructions, yet I don't see any of those cues in this game. Like, what is it about whole Ultimate Destruction did you translate over to this game? Certainly wasn't the jumping, certainly wasn't the power, certainly wasn't the strength, so I want to know what it was. Can't be the grab attacks, because Ultimate Destruction did that better. You can literally take a giant mech, jump in the air, and pile drive them. There's like this building in the game. I remember it because I used to do it all the time when I was bored. There was this building that had like multiple surfaces. And if you grabbed a mech when you caused enough trouble and brung it up to the top of the building, you could literally do a pile driver, flip over, then it'll send you directly into another pile driver, and you can go across all the rooftops of the building until you hit the ground. And if you grab the body of the mech quick enough, you were able to constantly do it over and over and over again. There was choice when you were able to play as the Hulk in Ultimate Destruction. Here, they even said that your Hulk isn't going to be the same as my Hulk. Well, yeah, it kind of is, because every person's Hulk is going to have the exact same moves. The only thing that'll be different is just the little perks that you have. But even so, it's still going to be the same Hulk. Still the same combo finishers. Still the same attacks. Nothing about Hulk will be different save for the perks. But everything will be the same. So, literally...
Keep heading for the data center.
Literally everything about your characters is literally the same as everyone else's, except for the perks you have for them. So the whole statement about your Hulk is going to be different from my Hulk, or my Hulk is going to be different for your Hulk, from your Hulk, that's only slightly true. In the fact that only the perks cause different things to happen. Like, oh, you can have a Hulk that does like his stranglehold, where he just runs forward. My Hulk, it can have hero orbs occasionally pop out. But your version, oh, that can have heroic orbs pop out. Different. They're the same thing, but they have different impacts. So, like I said, only slightly true. Not surprised that I got down. I'm playing on the hardest difficulty just to see how much of a difference. And he got yeeted off to the side. Well, GameCube ROM, here I come. I still got my PS2, and I still got Ultimate Destruction sitting on my shelf. So if I want to play an actual Hulk game, then I'll play that. But this is not it, Chief. This is not it. Take it from someone who's played multiple games with Hulk in it, like Ultimate Alliance. Now, Ultimate Alliance, that's another good example of a good Hulk game, because you can actually get Hulk to the point where he can punch people, and they immediately just disintegrate and disappear. But that's only if you use cheats to max out his health and, you know, max out his attack as well. But still, the fact that you can actually do that and get a Hulk who's not only invulnerable to damage, but all-powerful, and it is very difficult to take him out, it says a lot about games now where they give us later versions of Hulk. Like, even the Hulk from the Lego games had a much better combat stance and much better jumping. Like, the Hulk from the Lego games is by far the very best version of Hulk being able to jump in a video game. You could clear like entire buildings in a single jump, and entire streets with that jump when you're playing as Lego Hulk. Lego Hulk, of all characters of all the games that they made for Marvel, is the best one when it comes to showing us just how the Hulk can actually get around. This one, no, we got this jump that can barely go over street lamps.
Nothing for the living things of this place?
Now is not the time.
Your heart is in the right place, but we've got to focus on the here and now. Looks like AIM brought their own set of big guns. Let's take them out.
And you see? Oh no, I hate those guys. I hate those guys. See? Those guys are cheap. Those guys are cheap. Those guys right there are cheap. These are the cheapest enemies in the entire game. Those guys right there. Those flame adaptoids. I hate them with a passion. I hate them. I hate the spin troopers because they will drain your heroic meter and keep you from ever using your abilities. And I hate the drones that shoot out the purple orbs that will follow you everywhere. There's even a video of Captain America running from these orbs, and the tracking on them is ridiculous. He was making sharp turns, the orb was making sharp turns, and keeping up with them. Cheap enemies does not equal good game design. If this enemy is able to constantly stagger me while I'm running at it, while I'm shielded, and not only that, it can project a field out that constantly damages me, while he's also attacking me from a distance, that's cheap. That's not good game design. I'm sorry. I'm getting on a soapbox again. Because when I see cheap... Like, see that? That can easily take people out. And you see, Kamala just straight up died from being surrounded by him. Thankfully, I can shrink people with my... I can shrink people with my combo finishers. See that? I'm using every available thing towards me, and if it wasn't for Thor using his Warrior's Fury, I would not be invincible right now, so I'm taking it where I can get it. But I'm out. I'm down.
We've got this.
See? I'm stuck. I'm not moving. I can't move. What was that? And like that. Out. Out. There's no more revives. You only get 2 revives. After that, complete mission failure. Well, not complete mission failure. You just get shot back to the checkpoint. But there are times when you can actually come out of an animation and it will keep you from actually moving your player. Y'all saw that. Y'all saw Hulk just standing still, and I was desperately hitting buttons trying to get things to happen. And I got frozen.
Any word from AIM on if they know we're here?
Nothing yet.
Seems luck is on our side.
Famous last words.
Looks like AIM brought their own set of big guns. Let's take them out.
Like, look at this. I'm using rage to be armored, and yet I'm getting staggered by this very, very cheap enemy type. And I'm down. Lego Hulk, where are you? He's off being awesome in his own game.
Sure.
And I'm down. If I go down again, that's it. I got no problem doing this whole mission over on the lowest difficulty, because there we go. But Kyushu, you don't have your defense stat up. You need to be equipping gear that increases your defense. I'm not going to equip gear that increases my defense, and it also makes it so that that increases my defense, but also makes it so that it decreases my overall attack power. I'm not trying to spend 5 minutes trying to take down one enemy, all for the sake of having a higher defense stat. I'm not trying to compromise in order to survive. There's a lot of compromising in this game. Sometimes you gotta compromise being able to take down an enemy in 2 hits to survive 2 hits. Going back to the Quinjet, we're gonna lower this difficulty and then we're gonna run through it again. Like I said, there's a lot of compromise when it comes to this game. Either you survive, either you want to go the route of surviving, or you want to go the route of being a glass cannon. And being a glass cannon in this game is not a good idea. Especially when you're going up against enemies who like to mob you, shoot you from all directions. Even if they have indicators, you still are you can get so caught up in battle that you don't really pay attention to all that's happening around you. And you can easily get hit. You can lose your special combo. You can lose special perks. Like, there's even a perk for a piece of gear that I had that says land 16 hits to restore your health. Like I've ever been in a fight where I could hit things 16 times without getting shot at or punched. What's the purpose of that? The enemy AI would have to be ridiculously stupid in order for you to pull that off, or you have to be an absolute expert at aiming. At aiming and dodging. So we're going to scale you all the way down, because it's not worth the frustration. And the thing is, they will always move the level just too higher than where you are. Like, it used to be where it would say, like, oh, these enemies are at your main level. No, we want to make sure that these enemies are above you so we can challenge you. Even though you kind of put it on the easiest difficulty, we still want you to have a hard time. Do they also not know or completely forget that kids may want to play this game? And not every child has the tenacity and the determination to persevere and get back up again from games that will constantly, beat you down. Not every kid is like that. Sure, you have some out there, but then you have those kids who just want to be casual. Just pick up the game, play for a little bit, and then go play outside. The game does not give you that option to play casually. You always got to be paying attention. You always got to be micromanaging. You always got to be in a state of mind that this game is not going to be easy at all, even on the easiest difficulty. And you shouldn't have to micromanage skills, and you shouldn't have to micromanage gear in order for this game to feel casual. Like, I shouldn't have to invest so much in skills like, oh, I gotta have these perfect skill setups where I'm always getting health back, I'm always getting heroics back. No. Or I got a piece of gear that makes it so that if I do like a certain amount of damage in a certain amount of time, then I get an invincibility buff. Then they won't touch me at all. That's too much. It's too much. Now, I'm not asking for the game to be just like straight up easy mode. But you gotta pay attention to the audience that may be playing this game as well. Like, there are kids out there who think that this is kind of like an MCU movie when it's not. And may want to get their parents to get this game for them, not knowing that there's going to be a whole bunch of work they're going to have to put into in order to get to certain levels. But that's just me.
Hey, Avengers. S.H.I.E.L.D. discovered AIM keeps a list of potential security risks within their organization.
People and things Monica wants to keep an extra eye on? Guess AIM keeps that under lock and key.
Worse than that, they have the entire area guarded by their orbital strike team.
Meaning?
As soon as my team got close, AIM torched the data center and everything around it. And they'll do it again. It's too dangerous for my agents, but I need that list.
So we'll send in the big guns. Not a problem, Commander.
Starting to get a little bit dark outside, so I may have to resort to using this to keep myself lit up.
Despite the forest fires, there are AIM forces in the area.
Of course there are. AIM doesn't care about their security forces. You care about your agents.
Warriors are not interchangeable.
That is a lot of fire.
AIM was thorough. Take these guys out.
You got it.
Like, see? These synthoids, which are bare-bones robots with no armor whatsoever, and these proto-synthoids, should not be staggering me. Completely ridiculous that that's capable of happening. Get down here on this ground. I'm coming for you, boy! Ooh, purple piece of gear. Lightweight pulse nanites, and sometimes even purple gear is better than legendary gear.
The data center.
Any word from AIM on if they know we're here?
Nothing yet.
It seems luck is on our side for once.
Famous last words.
There was a moment where I actually got teleported with one of these guys. I don't know how it happened, but I got teleported by one of them. I take them out first because I hate snipers in this game. It is very minor flame damage you take. But the Hulk is fireproof, so that makes no sense. like hazardous things should not be affecting Hulk this badly. I'm nitpicking at this point, but still.
Looks like AIM brought their own set of
If
big
they're going to be
guns.
adding new characters,
Let's
they
check
better
them
make
out.
sure that they buff up new ones. They better make sure that they buff up their pre-existing roster as well. Because I'm going to be mad if they have this game going on a year later and Hulk is still crazy squishy.
I missed my unibeam! Avengers! The big guy went down!
You see that? You see that? You see that? The game gives you no moment of reprieve.
Got you covered. One has fallen.
Got one. Nice.
Like if the buffs I would actually give to the game and actually add to it to feel like it can actually make a difference is let us have like a prestige mode that like Marvel Heroes Omega did. When you reach the high level. Hey CJ, what's going on? I'm just playing some of the Avengers
We'll
initiative
use it to
and
find
giving my
potential
review of the game.
defenders. I promise you, anyone we contact, we'll keep safe until they can be extracted from AIM. Isn't that right, Commander? Guess I can't break a promise made to a god.
Data center?
Yes, and you need
Now
to
mind
keep
you,
that
if you
in
see
power.
frame rate drops,
Go.
yeah, that's in the game as well. But one of the changes I would make is give it a prestige mode that can further let us level up characters and make them stronger. Shouldn't be just gear that makes us strong, but give us like prestige levels. Like I know with Marvel Heroes Omega, they had something where you could like invest in psionic skills that can give minor increases to melee. Getting characters to max level actually unlock different perks. Like I remember back in Marvel Heroes Omega, one of the first people I wanted to unlock was Cyclops and get him maxed out because he in turn gave you an XP boost when you gave him a max level. So heroes, when they're at max level, I feel like they should give you like a little bit of something extra to add to the overall dynamic of the team to make it feel more, oh, I don't know, like leveling up characters not just levels you up, but also makes the team stronger overall. But prestige levels, like, I want characters to be overpowered in this game. This is Marvel. There shouldn't be any reason why any person on this team should feel weak. Especially people with beyond superhuman abilities, like Thor. He should be extremely strong. Now, mind you, like I said, Hulk is the one I spent the most time on. I spent a little time on Thor, but not too much.
That's all she wrote, kids.
But at the end of the day, none of these characters who are capable of destroying worlds should feel like you need to have that perfect gear setup in order for them to feel like their comic book selves. But like I said, that's just my opinion overall. And I would love for there to be a skill that makes it so that Hulk doesn't get staggered all the time. Because I'm tired of enemies that shouldn't be able to, you know, make Hulk flinch, cause Hulk to flinch. It's very annoying to me.
Is extracting the list now. Good. Monaco will have a hard
Alright,
time
we're done,
putting a
because I
list
can't
together
move
like that
anymore.
again, now that AIM's grown as an organization.
I look forward to welcoming our new allies.
Alright, so here we go. So, okay, Adapt Inspiration Enhancer, Adept Spark Enhancer, and we got a new... Okay, we got a Norn Stone of Protection, and we got ourselves a Epic Pattern. I really hope it's for Hulk. Is everything alright, game? I don't see anything.
Excellent work, Avengers. We have acquired vital intel from our rescued S.H.I.E.L.D. agents.
Okay, I was about
that
to
paints a
say, I
true
don't see
picture
nothing.
of AIM's intent.
Romanoff,
Scientist
I'll lean on
Supreme
you
is
for
working on a
priority
new
ranking
type
of
of
these
AIM
potential
facility,
defectors.
affectionately
Looking
referred
forward
to
to
as
it.
a hive
And thank
by
you, Thor.
internal AIM
I require
personnel.
One at a time!
We
But you
believe
are
these
welcome.
hives are
I'll
being
leave you
used
to
to
it.
train
He'll
new
out.
recruits and build thousands of synthoids which AIM could deploy to enforce their new world order. We need the Avengers to investigate and destroy this facility before it is brought fully online.
What was that just now? Why did everyone feel like they need to throw in their two cents all at once? That made no sense. Here's another thing. I feel this game does not feel finished. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. It doesn't feel finished. Because for those of you who watched my last finale video, there was a conversation between two characters where they were literally talking to one another. And the subtitles for it did not match what they were saying. There have been multiple times during the campaign that I've played of Avengers where what they were saying was not represented in the subtitles. And now here we have people talking at the same time, like ain't nobody trying to wait they turn. It's ridiculous. Alright, increase the Shield faction XP. We're going to keep you. This gives us an increase to Inhuman Alliance XP, so we're definitely going to keep this. Would have liked for an option to make it so that you can lock items you actually want to keep. Like, I know you can store some of these, but it would have been nice to have an option where you don't actually break it down by accident. And I need gear pieces that will not make me compromise defense. I need boost in both attack and defense. I will accept nothing less. I don't care if you give me a whole bunch of attack. If you're not increasing my defense, I don't want you. Especially don't want you because you don't even give me that much of an increase. So that one just straight up reduces. Nope. That's 90. We're getting rid of you. And we're getting rid of you. You're not good enough. You're not good enough. I wonder. I could increase this. Let me see here. Nope, it in fact does not increase my overall melee rating. So I just wasted all those resources on something that was not giving me a boost. See, defense goes up, but the melee stays down. And this gives me 3 perks. Another thing that has 3 perks on it. This is 3 perks. That's 3 perks. And that has 3 perks, but it's not a 5-star, so it's not even the best version of 3 perks. Alright, so we got some more objectives. Hive Mind. Now we have unlocked access to hives, which are basically this game's endgame content. So, reports of a massive underground AIM facility point to this location. The Avengers are tasked to investigate. Now that I got access to this, as we're going through this complete the hive mind mission chain, this is still step 2 of the days ahead for the Avenger initiative. Excellent work, Avengers. We have acquired vital intel for our rescued SHIELD agents that paints a true picture of AIM's intent. Scientist Supreme is working on a new type of AIM facility, affectionately referred to as a hive by internal AIM personnel. We believe these hives are being used to train new recruits and build thousands of synthoids, which AIM could deploy to enforce their new world order. This is something that Jarvis said, but since Black Widow and Maria Hill decided to carry on the conversation in the middle of this explanation, I'm saying it now so you can understand the context. Could deploy to enforce the New World Order. We need the Avengers to investigate and destroy this facility before it is brought fully online. So, in getting this whole entire chain done, we get access, we get like XP for SHIELD and the Inhuman Alliance, and whatever that exotic artifact is. I have yet to get an exotic piece of gear, a regular exotic piece of gear for myself. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what that's like. But we're not going to worry about that right now. We're actually going to see what these hives are like. Because I feel like some of my friends, like Swillow and some of the other people in his Discord, they're a lot farther than me with messing with this whole hive mind thing. Plus, apparently, hives are where you go to get tons of legendary gear and exotic gear as well. So I'm looking forward to stepping into that. And I need to find out where this mission is. Where are you? Utah Badlands. Is that it? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, we're going with Challenge 1. We are going with that. And it still puts the enemies at 4+4 in power levels, so... And it's going to give me uncommon gear, which is gear that I don't technically use. But we'll see how well this hive is.
I don't suppose this is good news, Jarvis.
Unfortunately not, Captain Rogers. I've encountered some rather unusual activity deep in AIM territory that bears closer scrutiny.
Is this related to those AIM convoys we've been tracking?
Indeed, Miss Romanoff. It turns out they've been moving large amounts of construction equipment to one location.
They're building something.
Yes, ma'am. A full spectrum analysis of the area suggests an incredible power source. Whatever they've constructed is likely fully operational.
Damn, it's getting hard to keep up with AIM's expansion. We can't sleep on this, Cap.
Agreed. Jarvis, do you have the exact coordinates?
I can get you close to the entrance, but whatever they've built is mostly underground. I'm sending you its location now.
No telling what we're gonna find in there.
Nothing good. Let's gear up and head out.
So here's what I'm going to do. Power too low, so I can't really suggest them. Yeah, I can't select anybody. So let's see what this whole hive mission is all about and see what the hype is for it.
The surface structure has a smaller footprint than I would expect. I suspect they want to keep whatever this facility is secret.
Thankfully, we've got you, Jarvis. Nothing escapes your notice.
I'm flattered, Miss Romanoff. AIM has certainly taxed my processing power. uploading the precise coordinates of the location. Now that we're in closer proximity, I'm able to get a clearer picture of what we're dealing with. The facility is built in multiple floors, interconnected by lifts.
How many floors are we talking?
Hard to determine, sir.
So not your run-of-the-mill evil AIM base.
Jarvis didn't even get a chance to finish what he just said.
The power consumption alone suggests something a bit more sinister.
Wall jumping clears a bigger distance than actual jumping.
The entrance is marked on your HUD. Get me to that terminal and I'll get us inside.
Sure, but I gotta deal with these jokers first. See? Spin keepers, I hate them. Whose idea was it to create enemies that can make it so that you cannot... See this? Look at all that damage I'm suffering, and I'm down. I'm down. This is supposed to be the easiest challenge difficulty, and I'm down with like 2.5 hits.
Get back in the fight, soldier.
It's easier said than done, Cap, when you got cheap enemies. Hold on. Switch my sound system off so it's not just booming. I don't know if my family is sleeping or not, so I just had to double check there. Sit down, boy. My Hulk may not be omnipotent, but he's still more than enough to take you on. Now, if he was actually strong, oh, none of you guys would have survived.
Let's see what's down there.
I'm trying to bypass local firewalls.
And there's no little secrets in here. There's no little secrets out here in this big area, so we just make our way into this elevator and just go on down.
I think we're about to enter some sort of construction facility.
Keep digging, buddy.
I shall. Interestingly, network chatter indicates your presence might spur conflicted AIM scientists to rebel.
Understood.
I really hope that when the PS5 comes out and people are playing this on the PS5, and I really hope the frame rate is better, the overall experience is better, and by the time the PS5 is out, there's content that actually makes playing this game more, a lot, will be worth it. I know some people are going to be playing it due to, you know, YouTube channels, content, yada yada. But I really hope by the time the PS5 comes out, this game has a lot more going for it in terms of replayability and actual sense of worth when it comes to doing things.
Don't blink.
At least that's what I hope for. You see that? Not only did I get hit by that stiletto bot and his perfect aimed lightning strike, but I also got hit by a random orb out of somewhere. I don't know where, but it hit me. See? These purple orbs, watch. And the guy... What is this? What is this? Alright, watch, watch. You see the orb? You see the orb? Look. The only way you can keep that thing from chasing you is if you go towards a wall. I'm gonna try and res all the other people, but I don't know if it'll be successful. I see getting hit from all sides is ridiculous. You got indicators, but when you got so much going on around you all at once, it's hard to focus on every single little thing that's going on. Hey, Psycho, what's going on? Alright, we got heroic pickups that can get our bars back up again. Oh yeah, man, I'm doing good. I'm just playing this game and giving my review of how I feel about this game. It feels unpolished. Like, really unpolished. I enjoyed the campaign, but everything else feels like it needs a little bit more time to incubate.
Okay, I think that was all of them for the time being.
Is this the way? No, wrong way.
You like what we've done with the Chimera, Cap?
The Chimera? Pretty much looks like it did before it did.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha. You want a big pat on the back for helping fix her up.
That is so unfair. And helping. I did like 99% of the work, give or take.
You didn't
Destroy
do
the
jack,
AIM
Tony.
power
We
core.
found it, and then we had to drag you back in order to help us out. If it wasn't for Kamala, you wouldn't have no Chimera right now. To be honest with you, I kind of figured he was still alive. Yeah, Cap being here kind of confirms a lot of things from the story. Hopefully, you guys have either played the game through its story or at least watched my playthrough to find out. What does the wrench mean? What wrench? Oh, the wrench means that they're moderators.
They'll think twice next time.
It means that they can
Please
monitor
proceed to the
chat,
power cores.
delete comments that serve to disrupt chat, put people in timeout that get disruptive, stuff like that. But I only give those wrenches to people that I know can handle the power given to them. Like I don't just hand wrenches out. I've pretty much had the same squad of people who have been my moderators all this time, and I haven't added anyone new because these guys are capable of handling things when they're here. And like that, with one shot, I am down. Just like that. Wasn't even worried about getting shot by someone because you don't even focus on every single thing. Like, there's so much micromanaging you have to do to ensure that you're not getting shot in the back, people.
Destroy the
And I just got shot right in the back while I was focusing on another enemy. Because it's very easy to just not focus on enemies and just to get caught up in combat that you're not paying attention to every single little itty bitty detail. Now you can easily get shot multiple times from multiple enemies. And it's like, nope, we're gonna make sure that you die first.
Use the terminal. I'll get you past security.
You're good now.
What just happened? What just happened? I just got shot by 15 different people all at once. What was that? Note that this is on the easiest difficulty, people. I'm trying to prove a point here.
Nice work, team.
This is why I miss classic level up systems that can give you stat boosts without the use of gear. Gear just adds on to the overall feeling of it, and not the main way that you have defense and offense and other things like that, because when you don't have good gear and you can't get good rolls on them, you're like up a creek without a paddle. You just gotta deal with it. But that's just me. I know I'm nitpicking, I know, but that's just how I feel about this overall thing. Like, why can't we just have games where you just gives you classic level up, you level up, you get to choose skills that make you stronger and stronger, and gives you a stat boost that makes it so that you don't have to worry about, oh, I need to have this piece of gear with attack and defense on it, otherwise what I'm doing is not going to matter. And as you see right here, I'm just getting knocked out by everybody.
That power core is finished.
That's yellow light. Is that a legendary? It is. Reflexive protective.
I'm in some trouble here.
Destroy the AIM power cores.
Oh, it would be nice if I could do that without getting shot 15 different times, Jarvis. But thank you for reminding me. If you weren't here to tell me the blatantly obvious, I kinda don't know where I'd be right now, so thank you. And just like that, they give me a gear piece that doesn't change my stats, which means that doesn't improve my stats, nor does it bring it into the negative, which means that if I improve that, it's only going to give me green stats, which means that you're going to get kept. Anything that puts me in the... Like, this gives me 3 green stats. I wish you could just minimize that little bar right there, because you can't see the rest of the stuff underneath that. That's annoying. Really annoying. But it decreases my defense, but gives me melee, ranged, and heroic. But I'm not trying to compromise defense in order to get those skills. I need defense without it compromising my attack. But I can't seem to get gear pieces that actually help that. Because otherwise, I would have to get gear pieces that increase my strength all the way. Like, you know what? Let me see this. Let me see this. Let me see if I can put on gear that maxes out my attack. I just want to see what happens. I just want to see what happens. Alright, so this one gives me 1500. Let me find another piece. I want to see what other pieces I can get that can just boost up my melee. I just want to see what happens if I invest all that I have into melee damage and see where that puts me. That puts me at 17,000 for melee. It decreases my power. Like, you see this? For you to get, like, a whole bunch of different big stat increases, it just decreases your overall power. I just want to see what happens. I want to see what happens. This is the max amount of... Let me just double check. This is the maximum amount of strength that I could pull from this. And this one, which is so weak, it increases my defense, and it even decreases my power even more. So we don't have anything. Okay, that actually increased my melee and defense. I just want to see. I just want to see how much gear really affects how strong you are. Like, there's so much in skills that require you to invest so much time in using them and getting gear pieces with certain roles, and you could spend so much time trying to farm for one specific role that you may never get that one specific perfect piece that you see everyone else get. But I just want to see what happens if I go in there with the max amount of strength that I have with the gear pieces I have right now. I just want to see. I just want to see. Let me skip this. Let me skip this. We've already seen this scene already. We've already seen it. So more than likely, I'm going to be getting hit harder because I chose to go for all-out strength.
Destroy all the power cores.
You see? 3 hits. 3 hits.
Get back in the fight, soldier.
Stark is down.
Now, I'm looking at the playback. I got max health. I got hit 1 time. I'm looking at the playback right now. I got hit 1 time by a rocket. That killed me. 1 rocket completely emptied my health. So you have no choice but to put on the best gear, even if it doesn't give you like the best stats. So let's see what happens if I go for a straight up defense. That's a massive 26%. That's a massive 32%. I really wish that I could actually see past this little screen off to the side. Oh, I forgot. Equip best gear. Defense, all the way into 11,000. Armor is at 21.6%. Max willpower is at 12,000. Willpower recovery effectiveness, 104%. Melee is at this. So, this is what they say is the best gear I can have on Hulk right now. So I'm gonna use this to... What the what? Okay, it wouldn't let me upgrade that any further. Alright, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Am I tougher by having this set of gear on? I hope I'm not boring you guys. I just want to see what range this can go to. Also, I may need to invest in a new set of new headset because it's not letting me. Sometimes when I plug this thing up, it doesn't exactly let me hear everything in both ears. It just does it for the right side, so I might need to get a better headset. at some point. But let's see how much I can survive with my defense in the thousands. I just want to see. Because if need be, I might just go the route of having straight up defense, because Lord knows I am tired of getting hit by all these different enemies and I can't survive nothing. I don't see too much of a difference. My melee's decreased, but my defense is higher.
That power core is finished.
It doesn't even feel any different than when I had my stats in when I ran into this area the first time. The only difference is my melee's weaker. But I just don't see too much of a difference in terms of me surviving hits.
Power core down.
Why are there 3 of them? There's another one on the top. There are 3 of these different elemental adaptoids in here. Why? 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 And I finally got their codex, so I can finally find out about them. But I managed to inflict, it was either me or everyone else, where he managed to inflict a bunch of status effects on them. So I'll take that nonetheless. But still, my defense really does not matter. It is sad to say that, but it just feels like it doesn't. And I say that after surviving that whole ordeal.
All power cores destroyed. Well done.
You say well done, but I only got like 1 star for that because I kept getting down and I kept getting knocked out. And we still got a couple more floors to go. Overall, my overall experience with this game is, it is a game I pick up on occasion, because as much as I want to enjoy the most out of this game, there's just so many things that causes the game to be more frustrating than enjoyable for me. That's just me personally. It may be different from other people, they may be enjoying themselves, but there's just a lot of aspects. I feel like I may have a much funner time if I just play with friends who have this game. May have to hit up Swillow, see if we can get together and with some of our friends and see about playing it, but overall it just feels like this game kind of punishes you if you try to do things on your own. Rather than playing with friends.
scientists are safe. Sending them pickup coordinates so they can evacuate.
Maybe defense is the way to go for me. It may mean that fights are longer, but at least I have a better chance of surviving. So maybe I should just go for straight defense. Or maybe I should just let the game tell me what gear is good for me and just upgrade what it tells me to. Because I'm surviving a lot better with the gear that they suggest than what I want to have for myself.
Good talk.
And to be quite honest with you, every game that I play all the way up until November is just keeping me occupied until Cyberpunk comes out. I'm be honest with you, that's all it is, because Cyberpunk is the game that I'm looking forward to.
There's a chest with gear close by.
Like, try this on this side.
Time for the big gun!
Use rage to heal yourself. It don't matter if you're getting hit while using rage, and it does not help. Like, using rage is good for when you're hitting foes and getting health back, but when the enemy is hitting faster than you can hit them and keep you from regenerating all your health per hit, it's not helpful. It's not. It becomes too much of a burden, and not only that, but everything just seems to want to make sure that you can never use rage, because using rage drains it out. Taking damage fills it up, but not enough where it makes a difference.
Here's an energy boost.
Alright, we opened it up. There better be a comic book in here that gives me a nice... enemies that block my grab. I hate them. I hate them all. Oh, there's 2 chests in here. Alright, we got units and Udu and fragments, which are useful. And we got another comic book and a proficient protection enhancer. So, let's see. Melee rating is now 1,000, and the next one is already 1,000, getting close to 1,012. Okay, so looking good, surprisingly. Which means I can pretty much get rid of, if I hold this down. It's not updating anything. What I can do is enhance this. Max that out. What in the world? Okay, it just switched it for something else. Huh? What are you doing? It can't decide whether it wants me to keep like one gear piece or another. It can't decide. It's weird. What's up with you, dude? But I'm just gonna get rid of everything else because gear-wise, it is telling me that what I have is putting me back into the 1,000. So my defense is in 1,000, and now my melee is in 1,000. So I'm not touching nothing else. I'm not touching anything else. I'm not. If I start getting good legendary pieces and maybe some exotic pieces, then we'll see where we go from there. Maybe I'll reach a point where Hulk actually feels powerful, and I just haven't reached it quite yet. Yellow ISO. Alright. Alright, this yellow ISO just pretty much replaced everything that I just had. So now my heroic is in the... Okay, so maybe I've been doing this all wrong. Still feel like there's things that the game needs to get right, but when it comes to this gear, though, maybe I should just let the game decide for me what's best, because as of right now, everything except for my ranged rating is in the thousands now. Interesting. Alright, let's go ahead and get through these floors, and then I think I'll call it a session once we get done with this hive. I'll probably stream again tomorrow. Now that I'm done with my playthrough and I'm already done with that, I'll be able to start streaming these sessions now, which is what I've actually been looking forward to with you guys. So now let's see how we fare in a brand new environment with 1,000 in melee, defense, and heroic.
These enemies must be defeated.
Okay. Oh, one of those electrified stiletto bots are in here.
Don't blink.
Keep doing all these takedowns, I'll get my heroic back, and that will in turn allow me to smash people's faces again. But these stilettos, they gotta go. Alright, let's see if anyone's gonna help me take out these dreadbots. Hey, Ed Distellis, what's going on? 1.45k? Yeah, man, the channel's been growing bigger, slowly but surely. I'm just glad people think that my channel's worth their time. I'm very happy that people enjoy the stuff that I do here. Faction level up. That's another mission for S.H.I.E.L.D. done, so I get to get a reward as soon as we get back to the helicarrier. Come on, who wants to join in the fun? Join in! Come on, bombing us! Ah, there she is. Sun's getting real low there, buddy.
The enemies have been defeated.
Alright, so before I can proceed, I'm gonna go get those orbs in there because they are heroic orbs that I can use to just get all my skills back to maximum again. Alright, so all my skills are maxed out, so now we can proceed into the next environment. I did not know you could swing underneath the railing. I don't know the point of that, considering you can just simply jump the majority of the way. But whatever way of getting you around more.
You're about to enter the facility's main core.
Let's shut this place down for good.
Works for me.
Alright, so let's look at our skills and let's look at our gear and see what we have that can... The only thing that is actually enhancing is just the ISO 8. Nothing else is increasing, which means I'm not keeping anything else that they give me unless it directly gives me the best gear and stats possible. So I'm not messing with any of this. ISO 8 stays the same, not touching it. Which means I need to go ahead and get rid of all this other stuff down here. Unless it's a legendary, I'm not going to keep it. And if it's an exotic, I'm definitely keeping that. But some of these legendaries that are not giving me big buffs and increases, more than likely I'll probably just put in the locker, because who knows what will happen further down the line concerning legendaries. Maybe you can enhance them and level them up as far as go beyond what level they can do right now. So I kind of want to keep some of them just because I got some special ones like World Breakers Coagulators. I kind of don't want to get rid of that because they're specifically tailored to the Hulk. So I kind of don't want to mess with them. And there's this. I just want to do this real quick. Yep, it put it right back on. So even though this gives me better melee, ranged, and heroic, it lowers one stat, and that is not what the game would call best. So you get gone. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. We finally got all the adaptoid settings. So we got the adaptoid, the assault adaptoid. Hate this one. The cryo-adaptoid, and then the adept adaptoid, which can basically float and has telekinesis. And it is a very, very big pain to face because it likes to be cheap. Hey, you're in the air? How about I just send a rock from the ground to hit you in midair and knock you out of whatever combo you're doing? Oh, also, I'm going to be floating with multiple rocks around my body, so unless you get rid of those rocks, you're not going to injure me at all. And you have to hit them one at a time in order for my rock shield to go. Anything in there? Nothing we can take. I could cosplay as Yasha from Asura's Wrath. I'm afraid I do not have the hair for it. Though I wouldn't mind cosplaying as Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe. I know I can pull that off because it's a full body thing.
You asked for this.
I'm probably going to have to level up some of these other characters just so I can give them an edge when I'm just playing with my AI. Just so I can get myself an edge because they have so many skills like Thor's Warrior's Fury. It is such a good skill to have because it gives you a moment of invincibility. And invincibility in this game means that you will survive the next round. Random explosion. Y'all don't know how to put y'all stuff away from flammables? What's going on with you? You don't know how to keep stuff out of the office that can just straight up blow up? What's wrong with you? Alright, everyone, come on, aggro towards me.
One of their 8 down. Another agent down. Another enemy defeated.
And with gamma damage, they get poisoned. And if they die while they're poisoned, they explode, which is a very good combo. In the beta, I managed to get both plasma and gamma damage going at the same time. Not only were they burning, but they were also being poisoned by gamma damage, and it was just a whole bunch of explosions all around. It was quite beautiful. Haven't been able to replicate it in this game yet, but I hope to soon. Who wants to join me? Tony?
Here we go!
Hee. When the game works, it works, but it still needs more to work all the time. Alright, mission complete, let the games begin. That is our very first hive. So I wouldn't be surprised if it puts me on actual more hives to go through.
Jarvis gave me the rundown. The data fragment you found looks familiar. When I was imprisoned, Monica wanted to build these hives, sort of a factory/field testing facility. If you can get me more data, maybe we can find a way to dismantle the operation.
All local production just went offline.
Local? You're saying this isn't the only factory?
The local network contains data fragments that seem to refer to other factory hives.
They're called hives, huh? We need to destroy as many as we can. We can't let AIM build illegal synthoid combat units unchecked.
Alright, and based on my rating, that determines the gear that I get. But when the game wants to be cheap, it won't always give me the best stuff. You're cosplaying as that character from The Boys. You mean Black Noir? I prefer Snake Eyes, because from what I hear, Black Noir is a psychopath. Alright, nothing is increasing that can give me an edge, so I'm getting rid of you, and I'm getting rid of you. I'm actually going to store these stones and save them from save those for later. Alright, all legendary, 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 legendary. And other things that increase XP gains, increase chance of comic books, increase for shield, and increase for inhuman, and then another one for comic book, and increase damage for mid-air combos. So, what we are going to do... Oh, that was a continuation of what you said. If only you could have his sweet theme tunes playing sometime. So while you're cosplaying as Yasha, Snake Eyes would be a very cool cosplay, but most likely your comics ignorant jabronis will think you're cosplaying as that character from The Boys. I know, but that's what the unwashed masses will think you're cosplaying as. Yeah, not everyone would be able to catch on between the difference between Black Noir and Snake Eyes. Alright, so if we look at our objectives, we still have more hives to go through. Get guaranteed rare or better gear and a guaranteed reward of legendary gear. And this is still going in line with the Days Ahead Avengers initiative. You know what? More than likely, I'm probably going to actually give Hulk a rest so I can actually start to level up other people. I probably might work on, you know what? I'm just going to work in order of all these other people I have. Like, I still got Desert Vault to go through. So I'll mark that. I still need to do all these special missions for everyone else, and so I can get them some legendary gear, and so I can actually start to level up everyone else, so everyone is not always constantly dying when I'm playing with them. So that's going to be something that I work on, and I've been slowly leaning out of frame. The Boys series is a significant departure from the comics version. Oh yeah, I kind of looked into the history of The Boys, and there's a lot of things that differ. Like, Stormfront was a dude in the comments, and they're a woman in the series. Their whole background is still the same, but the gender is different. But the boys is actually quite good. But, and I say quite good as a person who has yet to actually see the show, but I've seen like 1 or 2 clips, and it's like, okay, so this is what Brightburn would have been like if he had friends. And Stillwell in comics was a guy as well. Yeah, they've changed a couple of things here and there. Now, I know about Black Noir in the comics. I wonder if they're still going to go that same route in the show. I'm not going to spoil that whole thing about his background, but I kind of wonder if they're going to go that route. Alright, so I still have some challenges to complete. Defeat exobots, dreadbots, or adaptoids. I recover 300% of willpower using rage-fueled attacks. And my challenge card for Hulk is coming along nicely. I am still in the second tier. I kind of want to move on to the next one because I kind of want to get down to this one. This looks like Ang Lee's Hulk, like really, really green with purple pants versus, realistic Hulk with, kind of forest green with regular pants. I kind of want to get down to the comic book version of bright green Hulk, so I'm going to keep working on that. But, we're making good headway with this whole challenge card business. I still haven't spent a single point that I've earned, nor have I shelled out any money in order to skip a level. I'm earning everything for everybody. This game is not getting any of my money for any reason, because I've been there. I'm not going down that route again. But that's all. I'm pretty much going to call it right here. I'm more than likely going to play as other characters, trying to level them up a bit, try and do some of their missions, or maybe just try and get some better gear for Hulk to see see if I can constantly get more gear that makes it so that I can actually get my ranged rating up to 1,000. Everything else is in the 1,000 range. This one, it needs to catch up. So I'm going to keep working on that. And I'm going to keep working on getting some of these comic books to see if I can get some better stat increases and get all these 0.5% chances to above 0.5. So that's just going to be something I do in my spare time a little bit. I'll probably do another stream tomorrow for you guys where we play more of this. Or I might play Borderlands just to see if I can actually get some of those cool guns that I've been hearing so much about. But either one of those, I'm just looking forward to entertaining you guys as usual. So I hope you guys don't mind whichever I do tomorrow. So with that being said, if you're new to the channel for the very first time, then maybe consider subscribing because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So with that being said, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next videos. Have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples.